Did you know that one of the most unexpected and daring rescues in the Bible was carried out by a left-handed man? His name was Ehud, and his story is not just fascinating. It's a testimony to how God can use anyone, even in the most unusual ways, to bring about deliverance for his people. Stay with me as we explore the gripping tale of Ehud and the defeat of the oppressive King Eglon. This story filled with suspense, strategy, and God's power. The story begins in the book of Judges, during a time when Israel repeatedly fell into sin. As a consequence, God allowed them to be oppressed by their enemies. One such enemy was King Eglon of Moab, who joined forces with the Ammonites and Amalekites to conquer the Israelites. For 18 years, Eglon ruled over Israel with an iron fist, forcing them into servitude and humiliation. But then, the Israelites cried out to God for deliverance, and as he had done before, God answered their plea, this time through a most unlikely hero. Meet Ehud, a left-handed man with a plan. Ehud, the son of Gera, from the tribe of Benjamin, was chosen to deliver Israel. The Bible tells us that he was left-handed, a seemingly insignificant detail, but one that would become crucial to his mission. In ancient times, left-handedness was rare and often viewed as a disadvantage. However, God would turn Ehud's uniqueness into a weapon of deliverance. Ehud was tasked with bringing tribute, a form of tax or offering, to King Eglon. But this wasn't just any mission. Ehud had a secret plan. He crafted a double-edged dagger, about a cubit, 18 inches long, and strapped it to his right thigh under his clothing. Why the right thigh? Because most people were right-handed and would carry their weapons on their left side, making it easier to draw. Guards would typically check the left side for concealed weapons, but Ehud's left-handedness allowed him to hide his dagger undetected. The meeting with King Eglon. King Eglon was described as an extremely fat man, and his physical size is emphasized in the narrative. Ehud and his companions presented the tribute to Eglon, bowing in submission before the Moabite king. But after the tribute was delivered, Ehud sent his companions away and turned back, saying, Your Majesty, I have a secret message for you. Intrigued, Eglon ordered everyone to leave the room. Alone with the king in his private chamber, Ehud approached him. As King Eglon leaned forward to hear the secret message, Ehud declared, I have a message from God for you. At that moment, he reached with his left hand, drew the dagger from his right thigh, and plunged it into Eglon's belly. The Bible vividly describes how the blade sank in so deeply that the fat closed over it, and Ehud left the weapon embedded in the king's body. Ehud locked the doors of the upper chamber and escaped through the porch. By the time Eglon's servants realized something was wrong, it was too late. Ehud had already made his escape. Ehud fled to the hill country of Ephraim, blew a trumpet, and rallied the Israelites. Follow me, he shouted, for the Lord has given Moab, your enemy, into your hands. The Israelites followed Ehud into battle, blocking the fords of the Jordan River to prevent the Moabites from escaping. In the ensuing battle, they killed about 10,000 Moabite soldiers, strong and able men. That day, God gave Israel a decisive victory, and the land had peace for 80 years. The lessons from Ehud's story. This story isn't just about a daring assassination or a military victory. It's about how God can use anyone, regardless of their abilities or perceived disadvantages, to accomplish his purposes. Ehud's left-handedness, which might have been seen as a weakness, became the key to Israel's deliverance. So what about you? Maybe you feel ordinary or even inadequate. But the story of Ehud reminds us that God can use the unique traits He's given us to achieve extraordinary things. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful insights from the Bible. Until next time, remember, God's plans are always perfect, and He can use anyone, yes, even you, to fulfill His purposes.